Good afternoon, Whispers, and welcome to another impactful discussion on Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. I'm Sonia LeRae, lifestyle counselor, fashion psychologist, and naturopathic wellness practitioner. You know, it's always so good to be back in our safe zone right here in the Whisperers Lounge. You know, Whispers, I have a couple of announcements that I'll be sharing with you towards the middle or end of the show today and just to keep you abreast of things. So, before we dive into our fabulous feast that we have today, and I mean, this is a feast of information, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you want my best tools and master keys, join the Whispers Exchange, which is our newsletter. And there's always a live link in each and every one of the description boxes. So make sure that you are a part of the community because there are some major things happening going on with Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. As you know, we are going to have to be transitioning due to the decision of Podbean to decide to do away with the live streaming. So we are going to have pre-recorded shows, but they still will be live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm going to go into that a little bit later on as well, too. But just make sure that you are subscribed to the newsletter because you're going to get all the information, all the details you need about what is happening in our community and even some, freebies and some bonuses that are coming along too. Podbean has done something fabulous. They've actually placed a live chat into each and every one of our episodes. So while we have the opportunity to take advantage of it, make sure you drop your questions, show some love to your girl because your girl loves to monitor a great chat box and this is your opportunity to kind of put in there how you feel, what you think about the show, how you feel things are pivoting. So we'd love to hear from you, love to see the comments in the chat as well. So, I love to start all of our discussions off with a clear meaning or definition. And this isn't any different, Whispers. So we are going to get the meaning or the understanding of grounding. Yes. Grounding means create a safe, stable base. Let me give it to you again. Grounding creates a safe, stable base. See, Whispers, grounding is not about becoming calm when life is calm. So today we are actually speaking and leaning into how to root yourself in any situation. It's about staying rooted when life is loud. And most people think grounding is something you do after you're overwhelmed. And I want to correct that thought today. We are going to really peel back the layers. So, in truth, grounding is what actually prevents overwhelm from hijacking your nervous system. And when you are ungrounded, now pay attention, when you're ungrounded, your body reacts before your mind can even respond. Your body reacts before your mind even has time to even figure out, to see, or even to acknowledge what is happening. And when you are grounded, you remain present, you're discerning, you're emotionally anchored, even when circumstances are uncertain. But see, Whispers, this is the thing. Grounding is the difference between reacting and responding. And it's also between being pulled into chaos and staying connected to your center. But today's discussion is not about escaping stress. Now, I know that a lot of times we lean into different discussions on here, and we've had a whole season on dealing with stress. But this discussion today is about rooting yourself so deeply that stress cannot uproot you. Now, many of you all have heard me discuss and have told you many times about the weeping willow. And that weeping willow tree is so deeply rooted that even the best of best storms, hurricanes, normally do not take the weeping willow down because that tree is able to bend all the way down to the ground and come back again. And yes, it may lose branches or leaves or whatever, but the tree is always intact because it is so deeply rooted. So let's lay a solid foundation or get those roots deeply rooted today and start at what it really means to be grounded. Because sometimes we need the foundation to be correct so it can be laid correctly and then it can be solid for us to build upon. So, whispers, to be grounded, it means your body feels safe even when your environment feels uncertain. Your breath remains accessible under pressure. Your thoughts slow down enough for clarity to emerge. Your emotions move through you instead of controlling you even. So, what does ungrounding or ungrounded living look like or sound like or the texture? What does that look like? Well, a lot of people actually can tell you because so many people are ungrounded. And in the climate that we live in, we can expect that to be the case. So it looks like overthinking every interaction. That's emotional reactivity, where the emotions are controlling you. You are not in control of them. The chronic fatigue, feeling scattered, rushed, disconnected, difficulty making decisions, difficulty keeping up with the demands, or even the certain little things that you have to do in your day to day life. But grounded living feels totally the opposite. See, grounding living is steady presence, emotional regulation, clear thinking, inner stability, confidence that isn't loud, but it's firm. And see, whispers, grounding isn't passive, it's a daily embodied practice. And so many times when I work with clients in this space and place, many of them are like, oh, well, I know that's a buzzword or this is this new, like, woo woo and this. No, no, it's not. And really being able to work with clients one on one and really helping them to see how being grounded is able to root you in any situation, any crisis, any development, that it allows you to move in a precise manner. So, since we have the foundation properly laid now, I really think this is a great space and place to introduce our master keys. And I want to introduce our master keys early in our discussion because we need them to be able to build upon the foundation that we just laid of understanding what grounding is, what it looks like, what the texture, tone, and taste, as I like to say, is. But I give out master keys in all of our discussions because they allow us to be able to open up the hallways, the corridors, the secret compartments of our heart and our mind. But see, most people don't even realize that these keys have a dual purpose and how powerful they are because they allow us to shut out that inner and outer noise that keep us tethered to habits that no longer serve us or don't even allow us to become rooted or grounded, that we can handle situations as they arise. So with that being said, whispers, let's get into our first master key. The first master key is none other than ground the body first. Ground the body first. But why? You may be like, well, why? It's because the body leads the mind. And most people don't even realize that. The body actually leads the mind. And you cannot think your way into grounding, no matter how much you think you can. No, you cannot. You must feel your way into it. So that means that you have to be present. You have to really understand certain things about your body if you have to feel your way into it. Your body is always sending signals to your nervous system about safety or even threats. So, but if you don't know this, you're missing it. You're missing signals. See, grounding begins by sending our body the message: I'm here, I'm safe, I'm supported. And see, that's what grounding does. But why does the body come first? Why? It's when stress hits, your nervous system shifts into survival mode and blood flows changes, it changes its flow, it starts to pump harder. Your breathing even becomes shorter, your muscles tighten, thoughts become reactive. You're trying to think about everything and your mind is just spinning. Shh, hold on. But if you try to calm your thoughts without stabilizing your body, you're actually fighting biology. And grounding works because it restores your physical presence. And Whispers, I love teaching my clients the practice to ground their body. And I thought it would be great even if I was able to teach you or come in here and give you a little bit of it so you can be able to even start working on grounding yourselves daily. Notice I didn't say once a week, I said daily. So, first, we're going to become aware. We're going to have feet awareness. So, knowing where our feet are, placing both feet flat on the floor and press them gently down. Imagine roots expanding from your feet into the ground. Feel the weight of your body being held. And this practice actually signals stability and contentment. And a lot of times when we're doing this, people don't understand why we have the posture of standing shoulder width apart, having the feet grounded, taking your shoes off. And even I tell my clients, take your shoes off, stop running. Because in your life, your day to day, you may feel like you're running. In your mind, in your heart, you may feel like you're running. Take your shoes off. And if you have a back patio or you're able to go outside, let your feet be on that ground. Let your soul connect with the ground and stand there quietly, placing your feet there as that stabilizer. Second, we're going to have the temperature anchoring. Hold something cold or warm. You're going to focus on the sensation. Let your awareness rest there for about 30 to 60 seconds. And the temperature brings your attention back into your body instantly. Instantly. So you're really being focused with the intention there. See, a lot of people don't realize that temperature, when you place things in the hand actually starts to gauge in the body. So when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, sometimes you'll see them hand somebody something cold because that coldness actually shocks the body into calming down again. Or they need to warm it up so the body can be warm and bring back up to temperature again. And it's the same thing that we are doing when we are focusing in our body and acknowledging how to ground ourselves to be present and in the moment. And the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to slow weighted movement. Slow weighted movement. Rolling your shoulders, just rolling your shoulders, feeling the muscles. Stretching your spine, moving deliberately, but not quickly. See, grounding favors slow over forceful. So when we are intentional with the movement, it allows those gases and toxins to be released out of our body. Whispers, this is a powerful practice that I'm sharing with you. But are you going to be intentional, doing it on purpose, so you can start to be rooted and to have the foundation and to be stabilized? But see, once you do this, integrating this practice and why we should integrate this practice for what reason is you ground the body not to feel relaxed, but to feel present. And presence is a power. It's powerful for us. But you realize that if we have this powerful first master key of ground the body first, it would require that we have a second powerful master key that would support the first one. So the second master key is to use the breath as an anchor, not a fix. Use the breath as an anchor, not a fix. So this is the thing. Breathing is often taught as a way to calm you down, right? A lot of people, oh, just breathe with me. Even in your Lamaze classes, they teach the women how to breathe. I know because they teach you, and that's just incomplete, right? Because breath work is not a cure. I want you to know that breath work is not a cure. It's an anchor. It is truly an anchor. And when emotions rise, thoughts race, tensions build, your breath becomes your home base. So, why do we teach breath work? Why do we bring that into practice? And even as a therapist, I bring breath work into my practice. And I've even taught and I teach a powerful breathing technique that is deeper than just breath work. It's called the 4-4 method. And it's so deep that my clients have to work with me and to be with me to be able to do it. And they don't share it with others because it has to be done just so. So, breath is the only system in your body that is both automatic and controllable. Did you know that? Yeah, it is. So when you slow your breath, you slow the nervous system. And when you deepen the breath, you actually create space. But grounding breath is not about forcing deep inhales, okay? I want to make that clear. It's not about forcing deep inhales. It's about restoring rhythm. And many people don't realize that's what it's about. It's about restoring rhythm. So let me give you kind of a walk in on grounding breath practices. Okay. And you may hear me shuffling papers because I took a couple of notes because I want to do this a specific way, even. Um, I want to share with you the 4-6 anchor. Now, this is not the 4-4 method, so don't think I'm teaching you the 4-4 method because I cannot just teach this over an episode. You really have to work with me intensely one-on-one with 4-4. This is the 4-4-4-6 anchor. And a lot of practitioners use this in their practices. A lot of doctors will teach this even. So this is something that can be done even with you listening to this, coming back to pick it up so you can really get it done, do it correctly. So if you need to come back, look, let's mark this at the 1843 marker, okay? So I'll put that at 1843 for the 4-6 anchor, which I want to just make a note here that um, we're going to do this slowly, but also with purpose. So purpose. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale for 4 and exhale for 6. And you're going to pause gently before the next inhale. And notice it's very intentional. You're going to inhale for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to do it in that way. You're going to take a moment, you're going to pause in between, and then you're going to do it again. So the longer exhale tells your body it is safe to soften. And when should you use this powerful technique? Before any difficult conversations, during emotional activities or activations, or if you're in a high stress moment, when decision fatigue sets in, when you feel dis- disconnected or rushed, because this brings you back into presence. But the one thing that you don't realize, what this also does, this breath work doesn't remove the situation, it roots you inside of it. But it gives you clarity, but it also helps to reset your nervous system. So it's a powerful tool. So the 4-6 anchor is able to shift your body and shift yourself into a space and place that now you are connecting mind, body, and soul. That's how powerful that is. But you realize that even though we have these two powerful keys, it requires that we even bring in a third master key. And the third master key is engage the senses to anchor the present moment. Engage the senses to anchor the present moment. So, literally, what that means is that the mind time travels. Your mind is like a time traveler, but the body lives in the now. The body lives in now. So, what happens is grounding, when you ground, you bring your awareness back to the sensory of reality. And why sensory grounding is powerful is because anxiety lives in the future, rumination lives in the past, and sensory awareness lives in the present. So by engaging your senses, right, you get to interpret, or you get to, let me change that. You actually get to interrupt that mental spiral without resistance. See, when we get to disrupt, when it's a disruptor, it moves us past those elements. So I think we need to get into the grounding method. So the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding method. The 5-4-3-2-1. So 5 things you can see. Name colors, shapes, light. That's the 5 things you can see. Whatever you can see, name it. 4 things you can feel: fabric, temperature, pressure, skin. Name it. What can you feel? 3 things you can hear, be it near, far, be it the birds, honking horns, airplanes, air conditioner, you breathing, somebody sneezing. These are things you can hear. 2 things you can smell or recall, a calming scent, even. Now, let me just tell you about smell. My mom used to wear a certain perfume, and literally, I never liked it for myself. I didn't even like it on me. But on her, it was nice. It was pretty. It's kind of soft. And my mom liked kind of earthen smells. And so after she passed, I hadn't gone and been in her car, been near any of her things. And one afternoon, we ended up in my mom's car. And literally everything about her just flooded back in because it was the smell. We could smell Lala in the car, and it was powerful. So that's how powerful this is when it comes to smell. Let me give you your one. Things you can taste, things you can feel in your mouth. Because these are things that allow us to move slowly. And each sense brings in a deeper sense of belonging, sense of calm. It brings us deeper into each moment, even. And that's the thing that we want. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. It disrupts everything else that allows you to now be focused because it's a sensory ritual. Drinking tea mindfully, washing hands with warm water, sitting in natural light, touching textures with an objective to it. These are not small acts, they are anchoring acts. And sometimes when we speak about grounding, people just think like, oh, yeah, I just have to breathe or oh, let it go, shake it out. No, it's not that. Because when you're doing that, you're still telling the body you're still in high levels. You're still in panic mode. You're still in that receiving of that negative energy. But allowing ourselves to ground, we release that toxic energy. So when you're in a high stress moment or you're dealing with somebody that's complicated, give yourself the opportunity to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reset, ground yourself. That's how powerful it is, Whispers. That's how dynamic this is. So let's bring this all together. Let's bring it all together. Let's put it in a beautiful package and a nice bow for us. So, living grounded, not just practicing it. Grounding is not something you do once and you forget it, not one and done. Set it and forget it. Nope, it doesn't work that way. It is a way of being. When you're grounded, you listen more clearly. When you're grounded, you respond with intention, aim, purpose, and direction. When you're grounded, you make better decisions. You're not reactive and your emotions are not controlling you. You are in control of them. When you are grounded, you're conserving your energy. And let me tell you something. If you're not a part of my discussions that I have every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Noon Vibe app, you're missing out. Because literally this week, I gave a discussion on 7 energy leaks, how to prevent them and how to guard your energy. And when we're speaking in this space and place of grounding, do you know how powerful those master keys in Thursday's discussion, which was yesterday, align so dynamically with this discussion today? See, that's why I tell you, keep your keychains in your hand. Don't throw them in the bottom of your bag. Don't go throw them up in the closet or in the trunk. Keep them in your hand because we got to recall certain things so we can start to be rooted for ourselves in any situation. So if you want to be a part of those discussions on Thursday, make sure that you're following us and you subscribe to the Whispers Exchange because there's always an invitation inside of the Whispers Exchange for the discussions. And then on top of it, you get to download the app, the Noon Vibe app. And it's not just that you get to hear powerful discussions. This app also helps with your health and your wellness. So it's a double fold. See, Whispers, grounding does not make life quiet. It makes you steady in its constant current of ebbs and flows. You know, Whispers, I tell you all the time, I love being able to come in and birth such powerful discussions like this. And I have to tell you, it's not going to change, even though things have changed over here with Podbean. And yes, I have been an advocate. I've been talking. I've been kind of standing and asking and hoping that we wouldn't have to come off air live. But this is the thing. This is our home network now. And we can't switch it up. We can't move and lose you all again because we are rebuilding. But what I need, and I'm asking for our community so we can keep growing, is that you keep showing up every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Podbean because every Friday is a live brand new episode until we go out on summer break. Because summer break, we're going to come back with a new season. We'll be in season 13 and we'll be launching new things and dynamic discussions all over again. But guess what? Your host, Sonia Lorray, is going to show up and show out each and every time, each and every discussion. But what I need for you is to make sure that you share our episodes. Make sure that you come in here and download. Make sure that you comment on each episode. What did you enjoy? What did you take away? How could we even do better for you? What do I need to do as the host and as this person who is birthing these discussions to build out even more for you? Come over to Instagram. Give us a follow at whispers-in-a-bottle_podcast. Get engaged with us. Let's move. Let's rock this system. Allow real voices to be heard because guess what? I am grounded, I am rooted, and I am able to handle whatever situation occurs and comes to our community. That's why this discussion was so powerful and needed. That's why this discussion was birthed. Because these are the things that we are facing day to day in our lives. We are faced with so many things out here from the news, from what is happening in our country, from overseas, everywhere. But we as people have got to realize that we have got to take control of ourselves, of YOU. And by doing that, it means that the simple act of grounding oneself will allow you to be able to handle any situation. So, Whispers, I always tell you that if you would like to have an advisory session with me, there's always a link inside of each and every one of our description boxes that you can book your advisory session. And if you would like to have me as a guest on your show, an MC, have me to give a discussion or to present at one of your events, feel free to lean into my publicist. His name is Trey. You can email him at treytheglue@gmail.com or at info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. And that's info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. I encourage you all to make sure that you subscribe to the Whispers Exchange because you want to be abreast of everything. You also want to be abreast of when we're going on vacation, when we're coming back, what freebies are in there. There's different workbooks that are coming. There's different things that are going to be offered, promotions that are coming, even some special gifts even. So you want to be a part of it. So let me say this in closing, Whispers. I really want you to ask yourself, where in my life do I feel unrooted? What does my body need to feel supported? And which grounding practice will I commit to daily? And see, those are only questions that you can answer. Because remember, I told you that our master keys open up the secret compartments of our heart. And those are only areas that you are aware of. So remember, you do not need to control life to feel safe within it. You need to be rooted. And the deeper your roots, the stronger your presence is. So I'll leave you with that today, Whispers. And it's always a pleasure for me to be here in our safe zone and to develop such beautiful conversations. So thank you for spending your life seconds with me. You have been listening to Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, a clear voice amongst the noise. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here in our home network of Podbean. My name is Sonia Lorray. I'm a lifestyle counselor, fashion psychologist, and naturopathic practitioner, but I'm always honored to say that I am your host. Please enjoy your weekend and be safe. Don't forget, root yourself. I'll talk to you later.